Your vehicle doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a bridge to the people and places that matter most. It's how you show up for your family, your community, and everyone else that depends on you. That's why for 125 years, Firestone has been building tires with one thing in mind: to deliver products that are as reliable as you are. Firestone, always dependable since 1900.
Ever wonder who's out there making the world go round? It's truckers. Who unites baristas with coffee beans? Truckers. Who unites dogs with their favorite chew toy? Truckers. That's why Progressive offers truckers even more protection with Cargo Plus coverage to keep truckers moving right along. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not yet available in California, New York, and Virginia.
It's the best station, period.
Let's be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. By the way, my daughter has trouble getting psyched up for the soccer games, so I made a Psych You Up playlist to play on the way, and I put this on there.
It's a good idea.
If anyone else has any other thoughts, I put several on there.
Like a lot of DMX.
No, I didn't put any DMX
Rough Riders
on
Anthem.
Is that really a Psych You Up song?
Gets me psyched up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's
That
how
one?
Rough Riders roll.
That one?
That's how I get ready for the show. I'm a Rough Rider.
Oh, that's okay. All right. That's fun.
Yeah.
My dad used to play me Here Comes the Boom.
Okay. All right. If anybody has any thoughts, feel free to share.
I'm afraid you're going to give her, like you've seen Clockwork Orange, where he, at the end of the movie, he's cowering whenever he hears Beethoven because the guy that was torturing him was playing Beethoven in the background. You're going to do that to your daughter, where now every time she hears this song, she's going to be like, it's AC/DC, yeah? She'll be like,
She's like, has that reaction?
Because she hated going to soccer so bad that her dad tortured her.
She doesn't hate going to soccer. She just need to get her a little fired up.
Yeah, I get it.
She's naturally not fired up person. Does that make any sense? And so we're trying to get her to hit the ground running, fired up. So I tried to make a playlist. I played it really loud, and that was on it. Live at 5, brought to you by our friends at Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 1-855-TRAJAN1, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. Let's see here, Ben, the latest story up at KSLSports.com. Oh, what do you know? Posted like 5 seconds ago.
I just posted this.
By our guy, Ben Anderson. Jazz mailbag. What would it take to trade up to the number 1 pick? That is the latest at KSLSports.com. The biggest story of the day is the NBA playoffs, draft, the Jazz position in the draft, the future of LeBron James. All big stories today in the NBA.
Let me ask you a question. Anything happening in the NBA shaping any type of strategy when it comes to the draft?
Like anything going on in the playoffs now?
Playoffs, who's winning, what types of player are winning, does that change the way you feel about the draft?
That's an interesting question. More than I think a lot of these teams lack talent. Not the Oklahoma City Thunder, some draft good players, but that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, because here's the one thing that doesn't matter. I was watching the game last night, and the Thunder miss a shot, whatever it is. Chet Holmgren grabs the ball. He's surrounded by 3 Lakers players. He's pivoting in the paint. And then he rises and dunks over all of them because he's 7'1", and he's super skilled and pretty explosive and finishes. And then I watched the Spurs. And I was like, well, Victor Wembanyama's 7'4" or 5 or whatever he is. He's just way bigger than anyone. Well, that doesn't exist in this draft. There's not that guy.
Nor is that replicable, so I never like when people say that.
Right.
Like, why is Oklahoma City historically good? Well, they have Shea. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. So I get what you're saying there. So yes, you can't
But a lot of teams, I mean, teams aren't creative. Most teams are not that creative because humans are not that creative. So they respond to something that they see happening with the belief that there was intent behind it. Like this could go back to hot take. One of my least favorite conversations is like, this is going to be the Oklahoma City model for building your team or the Boston Celtics model for winning your team. Well, that wasn't a model for those teams. It's just kind of what happened to them. You know, like, it's incredible that Danny Ainge was able to accomplish with the Boston Celtics what he did. But was his model, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find, was it Billy King? And
Swindle him.
Pants him on live television.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pants him so badly that the lottery balls end up in my favor where I get the Brooklyn Nets pick, and it's the number 1 overall pick. And then it just so happens that in that same year, Brian Colangelo is the dumbest person in the NBA and wants to trade the number 1 pick or the number 3 pick for the number 1 pick and give us even more draft picks on top of it. And then those draft picks are also going to hit in the lottery. So you're going to end up with Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum on top of all these things.
That was never the plan.
That wasn't Danny Ainge didn't sit down
and say, I know this Russian billionaire is going to buy.
Coming.
Yeah.
Same with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
They didn't know they were getting the greatest player on the planet when they traded Paul George.
No.
They didn't know they were getting the greatest player when they traded Sabonis to the Pacers for Paul George.
No, the reason that they're so good now is because they somehow talked Paul George into re-signing.
Yes.
That's if you want to look
That's the turning point.
That's the turning point. If you want to look at how this team was built, Sam Presti somehow talked Paul George into re-signing in Oklahoma City, even though he had said, which is why Indiana traded him in the first place, that he wanted to play in L.A. Somehow he changed his mind and stayed in Oklahoma City, and that is the reason why they are good today. So I totally get your point. There was no plan. They just made the correct decision or made the right move at the right time to best set them up.
So along those lines, as I watch the playoffs, you're going to see teams in the draft try and replicate, this is what the Thunder do, or this is what the Knicks are doing, or this is what the Spurs or the Timberwolves or whatever. I think it's really uncreative, and I think you actually box yourself in of saying, like, well, we got to find our version of this guy.
Oh, I totally agree.
And I think that's moronic, because what you actually have to do is set the bar to be the next team that people are trying to replicate. By the time you're able to replicate what the team in front of you who's winning a championship is doing, by the time that's going to work out, you're so far behind everybody else.
Okay, I will say, well, let me ask you this. Outside of the obvious, well, they have Shea, why is Oklahoma City historically good? I'd be open to your ideas or anybody's ideas. I think part of it is they're huge. I think part of it is that they play like a team and that they have truly a team concept, and I do think team wins. I think Golden State played like a team and they had a team concept. I think team wins in the NBA, so I think that's part of it. But you like to say positional size.
Yeah. Shea's huge.
Shea's huge. Lou Dort isn't huge, but he is.
He plays huge.
And he's
strong
and stocky and huge. You know, he's only, 6'1"? But he's built like a dang tank.
J-Dub is not that tall, and I know he's not playing right now.
But he's huge.
He's huge. Yeah, he's a monster.
Chet Holmgren is thin, but he's huge. Hartenstein is huge. Yeah. Alex Caruso is big, but plays huge coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, the other Jalen, he's huge. Yeah. And maybe this is me diagnosing shortcomings of Jazz teams in the past, but they're small.
Yeah.
Why did we got in a kind of a debate about the Darren Boozer teams earlier in the show? Why weren't they the best teams in the league? Small.
Yeah.
Small almost everywhere but point guard. I don't know if positionally, is Ronnie Brewer small? Certainly not big.
Yeah, he's not big.
You know, he was like 6'6" and severely limited. But Andre Karolinko positionally was...
He might have had the best positional size.
Maybe, but he wasn't giant.
Yeah.
You know, Carlos Boozer was small. Mehmet Okur was small.
They were just really limited because of their size.
Their bench players were small coming in off the bench. What was the Rudy Donovan era? What was the problem with that? Super small.
Yeah.
Almost everywhere.
Outside of Rudy, they were really, really small.
They were really small. Yeah. Bogdanovich, small.
Yeah.
Conley Mitchell, small. You look at the Bulls of the 90s. Huge.
Yeah.
Especially the Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen Bulls.
Yeah.
Huge.
Kukoc
coming off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, giant.
Yeah.
And even their stiffs were huge. Like Luke Longley was huge. They were giant.
Yep. Horace Grant.
Horace Grant.
Big dude. Yeah.
You look at the Pistons of the 90s, huge. What do you think? The Celtics were pretty big of the 80s. I mean,
enormous.
Larry Bird being your three.
Yeah, their top three guys, McHale, Parrish, and Bird, were enormous.
So
the Lakers' Magic was huge.
This is not innovative at all.
No, it's not.
And it's kind of going a little bit opposite of the point you're making, even though I totally agree with you. The innovative teams are the ones that set the pace. But in the NBA, if you're huge, it's a real advantage. Boston, the Celtics with Tatum and Brown, huge. With Marcus Smart, who plays really big, and Drew Holiday, who plays really big. Maybe Porzingis is the exception to that, but still a big team.
So to drag out this line, reflecting that in how you play, I'm really curious to see where teams fall on the Boozer. Is he huge or is he small? Because he doesn't block shots, which makes people think he's a small front court player because he's not a rim protector at all. But he's like a great playmaker who's going to play a lot at the top of the key and be a great passer. He's going to be like a huge passer. So I don't know the answer there.
He's small. He's like his dad.
I'll be curious how people respond to him because he has the Lou Dort, I'm also the strongest player on the floor thing. Here's what I will say about that. Whichever path he chooses will determine whether he's a great player or not a great player. If he chooses, I'm going to play more on the wing but use my strength and my passing there as an advantage, he will look like a big playmaker, and that's going to be his best outcome. If he is a guy who's playing really close to the rim most of his career, that's a bad sign.
If the Jazz had Cam instead of Carlos against those Lakers teams, they still would have lost.
Still would have been small.
They still would have been small.
Yes. Now, on the flip side, Darren Peterson, he came out today through Shams and said, I'm a point guard. You should play me at the point guard. Truth is, he's 6'4.5". I think he's probably right. If you're going to get if you're going to win a championship with Darren Peterson, which, by the way, those are the types of conversations that are being had in front offices right now when you're drafting at the top of the draft. Do we think this guy's good enough to win us a championship? And it's why some teams might say, we love Boozer. He may be the number one player, but we can't afford to draft him because we don't think he can be the best player on a championship team, even if he hits his best outcome. But if Darren Peterson does, or if A.J. DeBonsa does, they can because they have that positional size. But you might look at Shea and say, well, Shea actually at Kentucky, while he averaged 5 assists a game, wasn't our idea of a point guard at the time, which is why he was not a top 3 pick. It's why he did fall into the double digits, 12, 13, 14, whatever it was. But you might be able to replicate that with Darren Peterson, and say Darren Peterson is a point guard and he's going to be huge at that position. And so we're going to go with that. And I can see that.
Yeah, I could. I mean, you've brought this up a number of times. What does being a point guard even mean? I just don't want him to dribble the whole game. Who cares who brings the ball up the floor? But if I'm an NBA GM, I like the idea of not starting somebody who's shorter than 6'5".
Yeah.
Which 6'4.5" is 6'6"
in shoes.
In shoes in NBA land. I mean, that absolutely has an appeal. You want to look, in all honesty, why did the Jazz lose to the Bulls in the finals? Because they
could swallow up Stockton and Hornacek.
Who do they guard?
Yeah.
Who do Stockton and Hornacek guard?
Yeah.
Ron Harper is like 6'7".
Yeah, he's huge. Scotty's 6'9".
So what the Jazz picked was, we'll play Brian Russell on Michael Jordan straight up, and then we'll help on the other guys that are so overmatched. And it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, then along
But what
those
else
lines,
are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Russell can only play defense on so many guys.
Yeah, that was your roster.
Yeah.
The end of the story. That was your roster. You kind of went in with a, I guess, fatally flawed roster.
Well, let me ask you this. When was the last small team that won? Because Golden State, you might say the death lineup was small.
It was.
But that wasn't the lineup they played the majority of the time.
No, it was opportunistic.
It was Andrew Bogut at the beginning, and then they had other bigs. And Klay Thompson, positionally, big for his size.
Yeah, and even Steph's way bigger than people realize.
He's, 6'4"?
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly bigger than Donovan Mitchell.
And it's,
but
he also
maybe,
has this superpower. That
maybe
no
I
one
would
else
listen
ever
to
had.
that. It was Denver.
No, I mean, Jokic is huge, and he basically plays point guard.
Pretty big. Right.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Gordon was huge. Michael Porter Jr. is huge. Those are big players.
Has there been a smallish team that's won a title? I'm sure there is. We'd have to go back and find it, but I mean, Golden State might be the best example, but like we just talked about, I wouldn't consider them a small team.
No, you go back and you look through, and there's just like one guy, and even the teams that aren't huge. And even like the Mavericks team, like Dirk was 7 feet tall, and they had Dan Pierre next to him. And
yeah, they were huge.
Yeah,
Jason Kidd is big.
Mike Finley's a big guard.
Yes.
Yeah, they just had good guys. Yeah, Jason Kidd's a huge point guard. Yeah, to your point. So, no, they don't qualify. No, I don't know who the last
Miami with LeBron
team.
was big, right?
Dwayne Wade's a big guard. He's not huge, but a pretty
LeBron,
big guard.
Haslam.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh.
Really big, yeah. No,
maybe they're an example of they weren't giant, but they were still pretty big.
Which, by the way, this is the conversation of why AJ is probably going to be the number one overall.
Because he's 6'8".
Because he's 6'8". He's going to be 6'9" in shoes, super long arms. And that's why I think he's going to have the edge over Darren Peterson ultimately. And teams do that. Again, I told you, teams are going to be wowed by Cam Boozer when he walks in. They're going to say, wow, he's just really, really big. And that's something we think we can use on the court. It just doesn't take that much creativity to find a way to use him. It's probably going to take a little more creativity to find a way to get Darren Peterson to be a star. And you have to build big around him. The advantage for the Jazz, and again, I hate drafting for fit, but where he does fit already is what are the Jazz? Huge. The Jazz are huge now. I mean, Walker Kessler is huge. Jaren Jackson is unimaginably large. Seeing him in person, I was truly shocked. I did not realize he was as overwhelmingly big as he actually is. Lowry is massive, and now he's playing at the 3. Ace is massive, and he's your 2 right now. Mm-hmm. So if you were to have Darren Peterson there, and look, I've loved the evolution of Keontae George, and maybe he figures out a way to stay on the roster.
He's not big.
He's not particularly big.
He's 6'4", but he's not.
He doesn't play particularly big.
No, he does not.
He doesn't play really small, but he doesn't play way bigger than his size.
And I do think you can have a player or two. I mean, shoot, you can, small teams have at it. Who's to say it's the only answer? But
if you were to say what's the best kind of possible outcome for this Jazz, if you were trying to be big, and let's say AJ was not on the table, it's like it is. It's probably Darren Peterson's your point guard. Ace is your 2, Lowry's your 3, Jaren's your 4, and Walker's your 5, and you've got plus 2-inch position at every single spot on the floor. Like plus 2 it's a lot. That really adds up. It just wears on teams, especially over a 7-game series. Size wears teams down, and that's why these big teams consistently win.
Well, I mean, there's a similar concept in hockey. I mean, like you want to be big because the ice isn't that big.
Yeah.
The basketball playing surface. Have you seen people advocating to make the court bigger? Mm-hmm. There's been several voices talking about that because as cramped as it is, if you've got length and size and all of that, it makes it extremely difficult on the other team. Well, honestly, whether you're good at defense or not.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Odom was a good defender. Was Andrew Bynum a particularly good defender, or was he just giant?
Yeah, he's huge.
Pau Gasol was never known as a super great defender, but if he's your 7'4", 7 foot playing the 4, he's going to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah. No, the NBA is actually pretty simple. I mean, it's not, but it's pretty simple right now. It's create space on offense and erase space on defense. It's just kind of the simple math of what's going on right now. And huge players that shoot threes, it's why they're in vogue. And Ace is huge and shoots threes, and Lowry is huge and shoots threes, and Jaren is huge and shoots threes. And in this sense, Darren Peterson has a chance to be huge if he's playing point guard, and he certainly shoots threes. He's by far the best three-point shooter of this group at the top.
So if we're watching this, these playoffs, like San Antonio with Wemby is pretty big, although I think their flaw is their guards aren't that big.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox doesn't play big.
No.
Dylan Harper will, which is why they need to move off of De'Aaron Fox immediately.
Yeah. Stephen Castle, I love Steph Castle, but he doesn't play particularly big either.
No, he's like a great defensive player and plays really fun. But yes, you're not overwhelmed with his size.
No.
In fact, outside of Wemby, I'm not sure you're really overwhelmed with anybody's size other than Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
And if they get eliminated either this round or next, I think they're going to start chasing some of those bigger wings.
So if we're looking for lessons to take from the playoffs, maybe it's a tale as old as time. Since the basketball began.
Positional size.
Have some big players.
Yep.
It's not that different from 24-hour fitness.
It's not. Why did your older brother beat you in basketball in most games? He's taller than you were.
He was taller.
Reason you didn't beat your dad until you were 16. He caught up to his height finally.
He's a lot taller than me.
Yep.
Stay tuned. More Jacob Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
If you walk into a room and can't remember why, it could be nothing. or something more. If you confuse a familiar recipe, it could be a slip-up. Or it could be associated with amyloid plaque buildup in the brain. Amyloid is a protein that your body produces naturally, but a buildup in the brain could lead to memory and thinking issues. To see what may be behind your memory and thinking issues, talk to your doctor about getting a full assessment. It's never too early to start the conversation. Visit amyloid.com to learn more.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Stop, drop. It's a good song.
Is it?
Yeah. The DMX guy had it. R.I.P.
All right. Want to remind you to join us coming up on Thursday. We're going to be at Beehive Meals. They're opening their new production facility in Ogden. Tune in as Scotty G and the coach and us, Jake and Ben, bring you all of the action. I was always more of a Master P guy.
Really?
Than DMX? Yeah, I would say. Remember Master P was, speaking of agents, Ricky Williams' agent?
Yes.
I think Master P also tried to play for the Hornets G League team.
He's a really good basketball player. In fact, his son went to USC with DeMar DeRozan, if I remember correctly.
But he did negotiate Ricky...
Lil Bow Wow, right? Is his son Lil Bow Wow?
I have no idea. He did negotiate Ricky Williams the worst contract in NFL history.
Well, that's not good.
You remember that? He got drafted by New Orleans, and Master P worked out his contract that was all incentives.
Lil Romeo, not Lil Bow Wow. Oh, yeah, that's bad.
It was all incentives.
No, you want money in hand. Cash in hand is really valuable.
Especially in the NFL.
Yeah.
Where they can just cut you at any time. It was like, no, I'm going to have this rookie running back that may or may not be the most stable mentally in the world have all incentives in his contract. Ready, break.
Yeah, especially if you're risky on that front.
And Ricky Williams at the time, remember... I'm not to get sidetracked, but remember New Orleans traded, it was Mike Ditka who was running the Saints, and he traded everything to get Ricky Williams. Like, he was the dude with the ultimate bargaining position where he could have gotten whatever he wanted from the team. And Master P was like, hear me out, guys. All incentives. Every bit of it. And he ended up not seeing the end of that contract because, of course, he left. He disappeared. He went to Asia? And then came back like a year later and signed with the Dolphins.
I had Sports Illustrated come to me one time and say, would you like to write for us? And I thought, Sports Illustrated? Holy cow. And I talked to the guy and he said, we're essentially an eat what you kill company, meaning whatever you write, whatever ad traffic that generates by getting clicks or whatever, you get a percentage of the web traffic you get, which is an incentive that works if you're at a website that you know is going to generate a lot of clicks. Like if ESPN.com comes to you, or I don't know, what's the biggest website right now?
Yahoo.
Yeah, whatever. It's not the
which
biggest,
is not the
no
biggest
longer.
one.
But if they were to say every time your article is seen, we're going to give you a kickback on the money, great. That's a good business. Not a lot of people logging on to sportsillustrated.com/Utah Jazz /fansided or whatever it is. So that was a Ricky Williams incentive driven deal.
Right.
Which is not always what you think it's going to be. So I said no. I said pass.
No. Master P, not a great sports agent. Ben, there is a report from Dan Wojcicki and Sam Amick that say this: Luka Doncic has already started a, quote, strict off-season diet, unquote, to stay in peak shape. And then I saw a funny retweet that says, this is the new Ben Simmons jumper videos. Remember, every season they're like, oh, did you see that grainy video of Ben Simmons cannon threes? Man, look out. He's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So is now Luka getting in shape in the offseason, the new Ben Simmons? And I was trying to brainstorm with you off the air of other empty offseason promises.
The most famous off-season promises.
That you knew were not going to... Donovan Mitchell, every year he was here, promised he was going to get better at defense. I could picture the locker room clean-out interview where he's like, you're going to get a lot better defensively. We're not where we need to be defensively. I'm going to make sure and work and blah, 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 blah. Never happened.
Never happened at all.
Luka Doncic, remember last year? Oh, Luka's motivated now. He's motivated. He's going to come back in shape. Nico called him fat. He's going to come back a dynamo. He did not.
Wrong.
Incorrect. And now he's dieting again, Ben. If by dieting you mean vape and vodka, I believe it.
I don't, and I mean this seriously, I don't know what incentive Luka has to lose weight.
Oh, he doesn't, because they're going to let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's done it this way his whole life. He won in
Gonna do it
Europe
again.
this way. He wins enough in the NBA.
He got LeBron's DJ bumped.
Right.
They now play Eastern European trance music.
They already let him leave for Europe after he got injured to go to Europe.
Yeah, he's not going to fix anything.
For
I
PRP,
totally agree.
but no, it didn't do anything. So no, I don't believe this at all. And yes, there are some famous examples of this.
How about Andre Karolinko's going to put on weight
Yes, that was a good one.
every year? Oh, AK's going
He's
to
going
bulk
to come
up,
back bigger.
going to put on 10 to 15 pounds in the offseason. Never
He's
happened.
like, I tried. I don't know what to tell you. I tried. Well, you didn't try hard enough. Whatever happened, you didn't figure it out.
Isaiah Collier shooting?
Yeah, we'll see if Isaiah's shooting gets better. Walker Kessler threes is a good one right now. That might be the biggest one hanging over the
Has
Utah
Walker
Jazz.
ever promised that, though?
Not particularly, though he will say he's working on it. Ironically, where he does need to get better, and to his credit, when these guys say it and follow up, it's really meaningful. Rudy Gobert wanted to do two things early in his career, make his hands better and shoot free throws better, and he got better at both of them.
He did.
And they really made him an all-star level player.
Well, they made him a functional player.
Correct.
He was going to be out of the league or in the league if he didn't fix those two things.
And he fixed them.
And he fixed them.
And it made him a way better player. Walker needs to fix his free throws. And for 5 games, it doesn't mean anything. He was shooting better free throws. And a lot of people talk about, I think he hit 75% of his threes last year because he was 3 of 4. Well, it doesn't matter. Make 70% of your free throws. That's really going to matter because late in games, I'm watching it every night, they're fouling Mitch Robinson every time he's on the floor to send him to the free throw line.
They've had to pull Rudolph off the floor because his free throws have slipped.
Well, Walker, if you want to be worth $30 million and have your defense at the rim be valuable, you've got to be able to close games. But you can't close games if you don't make free throws. So that's one of them. Another big one. Can Utah find a receiver? This year they have it. This year the transfer receiver is the guy. Well, we've heard that for 12 years, 15 years.
About all sorts of guys that weren't guys.
Different shapes, different sizes, players moving positions.
Even guys that were guys that Utah turned into not guys.
To lesser guys.
Like Darren, what was his
Carrington.
name? Darren Carrington, yeah. He came into Utah.
He came in a guy.
Left
not a guy.
He left not a guy.
Left
His career was over.
Not an NFL player.
Remember who were the three that came from Florida? What do they call those? It was Zach Moss, guy.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
The
Guy. Was
trio.
it Raylan Singleton?
Was it Singleton?
I think it was Singleton. But anyway, receiver, not a guy.
Yeah.
Every year we hear it, right? We used to hear it about BYU's defensive backs, although
I don't think it was Singleton. He came from Houston.
Okay, yeah,
Let me
it
see if I can
wasn't.
figure
It was somebody who was there at the same time, though.
Yeah, he was.
But it kind of proves my point.
No, exactly right. Yeah, you
Hallandale,
did. You had
that's what I'm looking for. The Hallandale trio. Yeah. Like Huntley and Moss, still the really guys. The receiver?
Damari Simpkins. Nice guy, yeah.
Not a guy.
Never became that guy.
So what is that? Empty offseason promises.
It could be a draft. Might be hard to get to 10.
Or maybe we get some Collins going. Open up the KSL
what is the
Sports.
best you're waiting for this to finally change?
Yeah, empty.
Next year's the year.
Luka, I'm getting in shape. I'm whipping it in shape this offseason. We're going to take the league by storm. Are you? DeAndre Ayton probably promises to play hard.
Every year, yeah. Yeah, Luka. It doesn't even behoove his playing style to necessarily lose all that much weight. Like, he's a lean-on-you guy.
But all these soft tissue injuries, it's all got to be related.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so.
There's a reason why NBA teams want their players in shape.
Yeah,
because
of course.
when you're not in shape,
he would be
you
way
get hurt.
better in shape than not in shape. But being a big, heavy guy is fine for how he wants to play. Not how the team wants him to play, but how he wants to play.
But he even got hurt in that series against the Jazz. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he missed how many games? He missed last 4 games of that series?
He didn't play the first game either.
He missed a whole series? No, he did play.
He played a couple of games. I think he came back a little later.
Is that what it was? Because Brunson was taking the Jazz.
Or maybe he played the first game and then didn't play the second. But yes, he got injured.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But he got injured. Yeah, right. So he's had injury issues that are going to come with carrying yourself that way. You know what? Jokic, surprisingly, I'm surprised he's not injured more, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, but he got himself in way better shape from when he first got into the league, when he was a legit fat guy, and is no longer a legit fat guy. Just kind
a
of
soft body.
Kind of soft. You know what? We see it everywhere. Dwight Howard had this.
Oh, he'd promised to
learn.
learn.
With Hakeem.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lie in all of the NBA. Working out with Hakeem in the offseason. Has never done anything for anybody. I get Hakeem rules, but that's not what happens.
How about Shaq learning how to shoot free throws?
Yeah, Shaq
learning. Every year. Oh, did you hear? Shaq's been working with Rick Barry. He's going to come back with an underhand style.
Yeah, right.
Remember all that?
Never happened.
He went through the one-handed thing that he did, but every year it was, Shaq's got the free throw dialed in. Look out, league. Wah, wah, wah. There's got to be more.
Oh, yeah. Call in. Use the call in. That's a great idea.
So you can go to the KSL Sports app, hit the call in feature, and send it on in.
What is the biggest one for the Jazz right now? It might be Walker threes. At least that seems to be the one everyone's waiting for, like fans are waiting for.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's actually what he's doing. Maybe it
Agreed.
is.
Agreed.
The one with the Jazz right now.
Keontae defense is a big thing that has to come around.
But has he talked about that much?
He says that, well, at least the Jazz say that's going to be Bryce Sensabaugh says it a lot too and hasn't gotten much better. Well, this can also come from coaches. Like Will Hardy, and Austin Ainge, not a coach, he's the president of basketball ops, said in the exit interviews, defense, no question. Not going to see the floor if you don't play defense. Okay. It's easy to say.
Well, he couldn't follow through on that threat this year.
He couldn't this year, but he did say it a locker room clean out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
We'll see what that looks like next year.
If he means it.
Yeah.
Well, if Bryce Sensabaugh isn't on the team next year, then you'll know he meant it.
Cody Williams is getting minutes over Bryce Sensabaugh. There'll be a reason.
No, I'm sure that was maddening for Will Hardy not to get distracted, but not having any leverage to coach. I mean, because that is your leverage to coach to get players better is playing time.
Yep.
And to basically not be able to do that because you were trying to lose. I mean, how do you get players better or to pick up good habits?
Yeah.
Stay tuned. More Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Real value shows up in reliability you don't have to second guess. Like a set of Firestone all-season tires. They're designed to deliver confidence-inspiring wet weather traction and a quieter ride, no matter the road, season after season. Firestone all-season tires. For durability you can count on, just like people count on you. Firestone, always dependable since 1900.
If you walk into a room and can't remember why, it could be nothing or something more. If you confuse a familiar recipe, it could be a slip-up. Or it could be associated with amyloid plaque buildup in the brain. Amyloid is a protein that your body produces naturally, but a buildup in the brain could lead to memory and thinking issues. To see what may be behind your memory and thinking issues, talk to your doctor about getting a full assessment. It's never too early to start the conversation. Visit amyloid.com to learn more.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got him Matrix and also loves his tie-dye. Ben's got style with his scarves. Oh my.
Jake and Ben, want to remind you about Sound Sleep Medical. Get a free sleep screening and consultation when Scotty G and the coach broadcast live from Sound Sleep on Wednesday. That's tomorrow. Visit Sound Sleep Medical with 6 convenient locations across Utah and start sleeping better today. Ben, let's get one more qualifier. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. We're going to assign you a golfer in the upcoming PGA Championship. We'll assign one of the top 25 players in the world, plus one listener will get the rest of the field. If your golfer wins, you get a Copper Rock logo golf bag and a $100 gas gift card. It's brought to you by Copper Rock, where the pros play. 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-ZONE. Ben, you have some breaking NBA news for us.
Daryl Morey, your favorite general manager in the NBA, is out. Fired by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Honestly, should never have been hired by the 76ers. Is Elton Brand still, I think he's still employed by them, right?
It sounds like that, yes. Daryl Morey is out as president of basketball operations with the 76ers after 6 seasons, sources tell ESPN, per Shams. Morey and the 76ers owner Josh Harris and David Blitzer met on Tuesday evening in Philadelphia, and the decision was made to part ways.
Well, he's done a terrible job.
He has had this on-again, off-again relationship with James Harden. It's who his career is going to be most closely tied to. Acquired him in Houston, traded him out of Houston, went to Philly, got him in Philly, traded him to L.A. But it just kind of has always been the thing. I think what Daryl Morey's always been good at is creating a mess and then finding a way out of the mess. And people are like, wow, how did he get out of that one? But he doesn't necessarily build the next good thing.
What mess has he gotten out of?
Well, having James Harden in Philadelphia.
Yeah, did he really get out of that? Because
Philly traded him.
Yeah, but Philly didn't get any better.
They got to the second round. Like, they didn't get worse, and so he gets credit for that. Do I think that deserves credit? No, but they give him credit for that.
For not getting worse?
I mean, we played sound earlier from Colin Cowherd, and he said, well, James Harden moved out of the way, and Tyrese Maxey turned into an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, but you brought James Harden in to play in front of him in the first place. That's your problem.
He
Then
did
you get out of
draft
the way.
Maxey.
Yeah, he drafted Maxey. So there's some things there.
Yeah, I just don't think he ever knew what he was doing.
I mean, yeah, Philly's had all these, high draft picks and good players and can't get out of the second round, and then they just got absolutely walloped in the second round.
He always bugged me because I've just never seen a general manager get more credit for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like
That's totally fair.
for not accomplishing anything, but everybody thought he was this genius. And I had never understood why. I mean, after he left Houston, he automatically got a job with Philly. I mean, he didn't even stay sidelined for that long. Philly was like, holy cow, I know we already have a general manager, but we have got to hire this guy. He's a genius.
Chicago's lucky they already hired a front office person because I think they would have hired him if not. Because they'd have been like, this guy's got tons of experience. He built all those teams with Houston. So we'll go with him. Which probably wouldn't have been a good idea, but they might have. And then what would they have done? Paid James Harden to come join their roster.
So I don't know what this means for the future of Philly. They're saying that Nick Nurse will be retained.
Just surprising to me. I know Nick Nurse does not have a lot of fans around the NBA, but I'll be curious. Obviously, the next big decision is what happens with Joel Embiid. Are you just saddled with him? They might be.
They are. I hold on, Ben. Have you seen his contract?
No.
Here, let me look it up real quick. I think he's got 3 years of a Supermax left. So I don't know how you trade that.
Because their roster should be Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and then build around that. It's a really dynamic backcourt. Both of those players are very good. Probably both going to be all-stars going forward. How do you maximize having an elite backcourt like in that fashion? And they didn't. They're going to try and do it without Joel Embiid, I would think, but they might not be able to get out of it.
I forgot he extended Paul George. What an idiot.
Yeah, you got Paul George.
Joel Embiid makes $58 million next year, $62.7 the year after that, and then a player option for $67.3. And let me tell you, he's going to pick that up.
Up that option.
But do you
He's not
realize
gonna be able to walk by then?
that Paul George makes $54 million next year and $56.5 the year after that?
I forgot that's who they traded James Harden for.
So he didn't get out of anything.
No, right, exactly.
He didn't get out of anything.
People perceive him as getting out of something when really all he's doing is setting a bigger fire.
Oh, my gosh. Can you believe that Paul George is due $110 million over the next 2 years?
Those two players, Joel and Paul George, are owed $110 million every year combined for the next 2 years at least. It's tough. It's a real bad spot.
Yeah, they're not going to trade Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
Like, honestly, the best case scenario for them is trade Joel Embiid for Anthony Davis and then get out of Anthony Davis's deal when it's over. Like, that's your out.
Always picking on the Wizards.
Yeah, but they will take the old maid, apparently. And then you're like, you got Joel Embiid and AJ DeBonsa.
Oh, you're going to be great.
You're going to be great. And AJ or Joel plays 32 games. Trae Young doesn't pass the ball. And AJ just sits back with his hands in his pockets saying, I can't believe I ended up here.
Prediction. The Wizards hire Daryl Morey, and they trade for both Joel Embiid and Paul George.
We got a team.
All right. Do we have a call-in we want to play, Christian?
Yeah, this is Brady. Brady sent in a response to your empty off-season promises.
Every year, Aaron Roderick promises that he will pass to the tight ends more and involve them more in the offense. Never does. Isaac Rex could have been a leading receiver for BYU. He ended up being for the tight ends, but he could have been so much better than he was and really had a chance in the NFL, but didn't, thanks to A-Rod.
That actually is a good one. A-Rod, remember, did not utilize the tight end at all when he was at Utah. They didn't mix the tight end thing back into the picture until Andy Ludwig came back. And that's an interesting one. Yeah, you could make an argument. Isaac Rex is one that BYU used as underutilized tight ends. Very good. Who was that, Christian?
Brady. 2 or 3 years, Utah was tight end university. Now, Carson Ryan last year had a good year. He had a good year at BYU, but was not certainly the focus of the offense. Probably shouldn't have been, but yeah, that's a great call.
If you ever have a call in, download the KSL Sports app, hit that call-in feature and share. Appreciate Brady for doing so. More next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I drive my bus in a busy city. That's why road safety is so important to me. I know that I must slow down and be extra careful when I make a wide turn. Buses need more room than cars. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're driving, remember to give buses plenty of time and space to finish turning before driving ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.